Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into what I like to call the ultimate microscopic manufacturing plant, the human cell. Seriously, your body is running trillions of these individual factories right this second, 24/7, with no breaks whatsoever. If you've ever wondered how your body manages everything from holding its physical shape together to firing off complex chemical signals across different organ systems, well, the answer is sitting right there on this bustling microscopic factory floor. We're going to track the production line of some of the most critical biological materials in existence. So let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this. What do your cellular boundaries and your body's hormones actually have in common? I know, at first glance, the outer edge of a tiny cell and the powerful hormones pumping through your bloodstream seem like totally unrelated things, right? One is this microscopic barrier, and the other is a massive macro-level chemical messenger that dictates your mood, your growth, literally your overall health. But here's the kicker. They share a fundamental molecular origin story. To really get this connection, we have to zoom in on a specific class of molecules that makes both of these things possible.
Enter the lipid family. Now, lipids are a major class of polymer macromolecules. Usually when we hear the word lipid, our brains immediately go to belly fat or a stick of butter. But this diverse family is just so much more than that. The lineup includes waxes, even earwax, oils, and, absolutely crucial to our story today, steroids. These are the vital biological polymers we'll be tracking on our factory tour. They aren't just lazy, stored energy waiting for a rainy day. They're the active, highly dynamic building blocks your body uses to construct its very foundations and manage all its internal communications.
Now, what's really interesting here is when we break these lipids down into their base components, their monomers. As you can see, for most lipids, we're talking about fatty acid chains and glycerine. But it's their job descriptions that are truly staggering. These molecules are the ultimate multitaskers. Sure, they're used for cellular energy, but they're also the primary material used to construct cell membranes and to create steroid hormones. Just think about that for a second. The exact same family of macromolecules is responsible for building the physical walls of the factory and acting as the master communication system for the entire body. It's wild. But here is where the story gets really juicy. While steroids are absolutely card-carrying members of the lipid family, they are the unique rule breakers on the factory floor. They completely ditch the fatty acid chains and glycerin that fats and oils use as their monomers. No fatty acids at all. Despite having this totally different structural foundation, they still share the lipid family's core characteristic. They are insoluble in water. And honestly, this specific chemical quirk is exactly what lets them slip right through watery environments and cellular barriers to act as those powerful messengers we know as steroid hormones. So knowing how crucial these lipids and steroids are for your energy, your boundaries, and your hormones, the next logical question we gotta ask is, where exactly in the cell does the manufacturing of these vital steroids and lipids actually take place? I mean, if the cell is this massive, bustling city, we're looking for a very specific industrial district. We need to find the exact organelle that's putting together these complex macromolecules. Well, we've arrived at our manufacturing district, and this brilliantly illustrates what we're looking at. These intricate, folded, ribbon-like membrane structures, they aren't just there to look pretty. In biology, structure is absolutely everything. Form dictates function. These massive folds are specifically designed to drastically increase the surface area of the organelle. By folding back and forth upon itself over and over, the cell maximizes the available workspace within a tiny microscopic volume. It basically gives itself incredible production capacity. It's an absolute marvel of natural engineering, perfectly designed to churn out the materials your body desperately needs. Now, within this folded network, we actually have two specialized zones, and comparing them really helps us understand our lipid factory so much better. On one side, we have the rough endoplasmic reticulum, or rough ER. It's studded with these tiny dots called ribosomes, making it look a bit like a microscopic punk rock jacket, right? Its main gig is protein synthesis. But our star today is its sleek counterpart, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It is completely devoid of ribosomes, meaning it has absolutely no distractions. Because it isn't busy making proteins, it focuses its efforts entirely on a different, vital task, the synthesis of lipids. But don't get it twisted, this smooth ER is definitely not a one-trick pony. It is a highly versatile manufacturing center. Its primary claim to fame on the factory floor is synthesizing those crucial lipids, including the oils and phospholipids that make up your cell membranes. And, importantly, it is the exact site of steroid synthesis. But the story doesn't stop there.
The smooth ER is practically working overtime. It manages the metabolism of carbohydrates, carefully regulates your calcium concentrations, and acts as your cellular detox center, kicking into high gear to clear things out after you've encountered toxins, alcohol, or certain medications. This single, microscopic, ribosome-free organelle is doing some major heavy lifting to keep you alive. Let's move along and see how this all builds together. This brings us to a foundational principle of the fluid mosaic model of membrane structure, which states, the more unsaturated the fatty acid, the more fluid nature. Basically, what this means is that the physical and chemical nature of the lipids being pumped out by the smooth ER directly dictates the physical properties of your cell membranes. And a massive key player here is cholesterol, a specific type of sterol, which is, you guessed it, a steroid synthesized right here in the smooth ER. Think of cholesterol as the ultimate cellular thermostat. It gets manufactured and then embedded right into the cell membrane, acting as a Goldilocks buffer to keep that membrane perfectly balanced, not too rigid, not too loose, no matter what temperature your body is experiencing. Building on that idea, the fluid mosaic model teaches us that a cell membrane isn't just some static, rigid brick wall. Far from it. It is a dynamic, moving, fluid mosaic. It relies entirely on the specific nature of these lipids to maintain that perfect level of fluidity. Because think about it, if the membrane is too rigid, the cell just breaks. But if it's too fluid, it completely falls apart. The smooth ER has to relentlessly manufacture the exact right blend of saturated fats, unsaturated fats, and that steroid cholesterol to create a biological boundary that is strong enough to protect the cell, yet fluid enough to let essential nutrients in and push dangerous waste out. So the crucial point here is how this incredible spatial narrative comes together, connecting the micro-level factory directly to your macro-level human health. Step 1, deep inside the cell, the smooth ER acts as the specialized factory, synthesizing those lipid macromolecules and steroids. Step 2, these newly minted lipids are transported to the perimeter to physically construct the dynamic, fluid mosaic cell membranes that protect every single cell in your body. And finally, step 3, the steroids manufactured on that exact same factory floor are deployed outwards, traveling through your bloodstream as powerful hormones to regulate your entire systemic health. It's a brilliant assembly line. I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought as we wrap up. How does a single microscopic organelle, this tiny, ribosome-free smooth ER, manage to dictate so much of your human health? From the literal physical boundaries of your cells, kept beautifully fluid and stable by cholesterol, to the systemic, far-reaching messaging of your body's steroid hormones, it is all happening invisibly, constantly, inside of you right now. The next time you think about your health, I hope you take a second to appreciate the incredible, relentless manufacturing happening on the tiny folded membranes of your cellular factories. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning how the microscopic world shapes our macroscopic lives.